Chosen one. Pause. The noise around you may feel overwhelming, but heaven has silenced it for this exact moment. You did not stumble here by accident. Your steps were guided. This is divine interruption. A message is reaching you because something is stirring, something is shifting, and it is happening far sooner than you realize. You've always sensed you were different. While others run after applause, your heart aches for truth. While some settle in comfort, you've walked a road of stretching, of breaking, of hidden preparation. You've wondered why your nights have been heavy, why your path feels narrow, why the weight on your shoulders seems greater than others. The answer is clear. You were never called to fit in. You were chosen to stand apart. Think of a seed buried deep in the soil. It looks forgotten, pressed into darkness. But beneath the surface, life is forming. Roots stretch, strength builds, and at the right time, the seed breaks open to reach the light. That is your story. The silence, the waiting, the crushing, they are not the end. They are the beginning of growth. I recall a chosen one who lived this truth. She waited years for God to open a door while others advanced ahead. Every prayer seemed to vanish into emptiness. Yet in her waiting, she learned endurance. She learned to pray when no answer came, to worship when no audience watched, and when her moment arrived, her voice carried authority. Because it was birthed in fire. What she thought were wasted years became her anointing oil. You are in that same process now. Right now, you feel the tremors of heaven rearranging the ground beneath you. The resistance has grown stronger, not because you are weak, but because your breakthrough is close. The enemy attacks hardest at the edge of destiny. That is why confusion has risen. That is why fear whispers louder. But those whispers cannot stop what God has already written. It was spoken through the prophet Habakkuk. Chapter 1, verse 5. Look at the nations and watch, be amazed. For I am going to do something in your days you would not believe. Chosen one. Let this sink deep. You are not late. You are not forgotten, and you are not overlooked. Heaven's clock is precise, and you are right on schedule. What felt like delay was preparation, and what looked like silence was strategy. If these words stir something within you, let your faith respond. Press like, share this message, and subscribe, so you do not miss the next unfolding revelation. And in the comments, declare by writing the number 777 a prophetic act that you align yourself with God's perfect completion and timing. This is just the first step into a larger journey. Stay ready, for what heaven is about to unveil will not wait. Chosen one. The Spirit is not finished speaking to you, yet there is more. He is pressing into your heart. You may feel like the ground under your feet is shifting, but that is because you are standing at the threshold of something new. God is stirring the waters ahead of you, calling you to step out where your faith must grow wings. This is not a time to shrink back. This is a time to lean in. Do you see it? The silence you walked through was not punishment. It was the training field of heaven. Just as a soldier learns endurance before battle, you were prepared in hiddenness so that you could endure invisibility. Every unanswered prayer, every tear that fell in the night, has become oil of strength. Heaven is about to pour it out through your life. The story is turning. The delay that frustrated you is now becoming the stage for God's demonstration. Soon, Others will see the fruit of your waiting, and they will marvel at how you stood firm when everything in you wanted to break. Your testimony will be a key that unlocks faith in someone else's life. Chosen one. This is why your journey matters. This is why you cannot quit now. To stop would be to leave your crown unclaimed. To remain silent would be to withhold light from those trapped in darkness. You are being positioned not just for yourself, but for nations, for generations, for lives you have not yet met. Stay attentive. Stay surrendered. Stay expectant. The next word that flows will draw you deeper into revelation. Heaven is not done. Your story is only beginning, and the unfolding will come sooner than you think. Chosen one. You carry a mark that cannot be erased. Long before you took your first breath, heaven already inscribed purpose into your being. You may not always feel it, but the evidence is woven into the very fabric of your story. The reason people look at you differently, the reason you often feel out of place, is because you are not like the rest. You were set apart for something greater. Consider the way gold is refined. At first glance, it is covered with rock and dirt, almost indistinguishable from ordinary stones. Yet, when placed in the fire, its hidden worth is revealed. That is the way God works with you. Others might see only the surface, but heaven knows the treasure buried within. Every trial, every hardship, every misunderstanding, these have been flames removing what is not meant to stay. What remains is your true self, chosen, radiant, indestructible. Some of your deepest wounds come from being misunderstood. You tried to explain your heart, but they could not comprehend it. You shared your dreams, but they mocked them. You carried compassion, but they dismissed it as weakness. And yet, these very experiences are proof of your uniqueness. The world often rejects what it cannot define, but God has never rejected you. In fact, rejection was part of the molding, pushing you away from what was not aligned with your destiny. There was once a young man whose life seemed to bear little fruit. He worked hard, but was overlooked. He offered loyalty, but was betrayed. His family saw him as ordinary, even disposable. Yet, heaven had already chosen him. His obscurity was the canvas for divine preparation. When his moment came, he was lifted from shadows to a place of honor. Those who doubted him had to witness the fulfillment of God's plan. This story mirrors yours. Your hidden season is not wasted. It is building the testimony that will one day speak louder than your words. Think about how an eagle is not raised with chickens. It cannot spend its life scratching in the dirt when it was created to soar. Sooner or later, it must rise above, stretching its wings into the sky. You, too, were designed for heights beyond what others around you may understand. That is why you have often felt restless, as if there is more waiting for you. That restlessness is not failure, it is destiny calling. Do not despise your difference. The very traits that caused others to distance themselves are the same traits that will open doors you never thought possible. Your sensitivity to spiritual things, your compassion for the broken, your unwillingness to settle for less, all of these are signs that God has marked you. These qualities are not accidents. They are proof that you are chosen. It was spoken in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a people, holy, to the Lord your God. He has chosen you out of all the peoples on earth to be his treasured possession. This is not just a word for a nation long ago, it is a mirror of your own identity. You are not common. You are treasured. You are set apart. Chosen one. Reflect for a moment. The times you felt left out were not rejection, they were redirection. The relationships that fell apart were not failures, they were protection. The dreams that felt delayed were not forgotten, they were refinement. Heaven was making sure you would not dilute your destiny by settling in the wrong place. Your story is not defined by who walked away, by who doubted you, or by who failed to see your worth. Your story is defined by the one who called you, who marked you, who continues to carry you even now. Remember this, to be chosen is both an honor and a responsibility. It means you cannot live like everyone else, because you were designed for something greater. You cannot compromise like others, because your light is too precious. You cannot remain silent when God has given you a voice. Your difference is your destiny. And though you may not always feel ready, know this: God equips those He calls. The very places where you feel inadequate will become the very places He fills with His strength. What you see as weakness, heaven sees as opportunity for glory. Chosen one. Embrace the mark upon your life. You were set apart not to walk in fear, but to rise in purpose. Even now, heaven is preparing to unfold greater revelation. Stay attentive, for the journey is only beginning, and the path ahead is filled with promise. Chosen one. You must understand this. Battles are being fought around you that your eyes cannot see. The restlessness in your spirit, the weight that presses on your chest, the dreams that shake you. Awake in the night. These are not random. They are signs of the unseen war between light and darkness, and you are at the center of it because you carry something the enemy fears. Imagine two kingdoms at war. The clash is invisible to those who live, distracted, but the sensitive ones feel it. The atmosphere grows heavy. Whispers of doubt swirl. Unexpected obstacles rise. That is what you have been sensing. It is not just stress. It is not just coincidence. It is spiritual warfare. Your prayers, even the ones whispered through tears, have been weapons. Your silence, when tempted to retaliate, has been a shield. Your choice to hold on to faith when despair felt easier has been a strike against darkness. You may not always feel strong, but heaven counts every act of resistance as victory. There was once a man who spent nights wrestling with thoughts of giving up. No one around him understood the heaviness he carried. But in the unseen realm, angels were surrounding him, strengthening him, while the enemy tried to suffocate his hope. One night, when his strength finally cracked, he fell on his knees and whispered a single prayer: "Help me." That night, the atmosphere shifted. Peace wrapped around him like a blanket. And though nothing changed outwardly, everything inside him transformed. He had stepped into the reality that the unseen war was not his to win alone. God was fighting for him. Chosen one. You are not defenseless. Scripture reveals in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. You carry authority. Even when you feel weak, the very presence of God within you terrifies darkness. That is why the battle feels so intense. It is because you are a threat. Think of yourself as a lighthouse standing against a raging storm. Waves crash. Winds howl. Yet the light still shines. Ships lost in the dark are drawn to your glow. You may feel battered, but you are still standing, still shining, and still fulfilling your purpose. Now, I want you to act in faith. Type these 4 words in the comments. He fights for me. This is more than interaction. It is a declaration of truth. By writing it, you proclaim that the war is not yours to win in human strength, but God Himself stands at the front line. Every time you say it, you remind your heart and you announce to the unseen realm that the victory is secured, not by your might, but by His power. Do not underestimate this moment. Heaven responds to declarations of faith. Angels move at the sound of agreement. Your simple obedience carries weight. Let those words seal what has been spoken over your life today. Chosen one, lift your head. The unseen battles may rage, but you are not alone. And you are not losing. The fight is fierce only because your victory is close. Chosen one, let me show you why this matters so deeply. The words you type are not just letters on a screen, they are spiritual proclamations. When you declare, "He fights for me," you shift the atmosphere. You silence the voice of fear that says you are alone. You break agreement with the lie that you must carry every battle in your own strength. You invite heaven's armies to step in. And they do. Think of Israel standing before the Red Sea. Enemies chasing from behind. To the natural eye, it was impossible. But God Himself fought for them, splitting waters, making a way through the impossible. That same power is at work for you. When you confess, "He fights for me," you are aligning yourself with that same God who still parts seas and collapses walls. Even when you feel small, you are not powerless. The darkness knows this, which is why it tries to suffocate your hope. But your declaration plants a banner in the battlefield. It tells the enemy that you will not retreat, because the commander of heaven's armies is leading your steps. Chosen one, let your heart rest. The war is real, but so is your defender. You are not abandoned on this battlefield. The fight you face is the evidence that heaven has marked you, and your victory is already unfolding. Chosen one, every tear you have cried has been seen. Every sigh you have released into the night has been heard. Nothing has slipped past the attention of heaven. You may have thought your pain was unnoticed, but the truth is that every moment of suffering has been carefully recorded, and every drop of sorrow has been stored in the chambers of God's heart. Picture a jar placed upon a high shelf. Slowly, drop by drop, tears fall into it. The world does not see this jar, but heaven does. With every silent cry, with every whispered prayer that seemed unanswered, the jar fills. This image is not symbolic alone. It reflects the reality that your pain is sacred before the Lord. There was a woman who walked through years of hidden heartbreak. She carried loss so quietly that even her closest friends did not recognize the depth of her wounds. But one evening, overwhelmed, she whispered, "God, if you see me, just let me know." The next morning, a stranger spoke words to her that touched the very pain she had kept buried. She realized in that moment that her tears had not been wasted. They had been seen, counted, and answered in a way she never expected. Her story mirrors your own. The psalmist once wrote, in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, "Record my misery, list my tears on your scroll. Are they not in your record?" These words reveal a God who does not overlook suffering. Instead, He transforms it. What feels unbearable becomes the soil for hope. What feels meaningless becomes the very testimony that strengthens others. Chosen one. You may not have noticed, but your pain has already shaped you. It has built compassion within you, a tenderness toward others that only comes from personal experience. The broken pieces of your heart have become tools in the hand of God, ready to mend the lives of those who will one day cross your path. Think of a potter working clay. Each press, each cut, each reshaping seems destructive to the clay itself. But to the potter, it is intentional. The clay does not see the final design, but the potter does. Your tears are the pressure points where the potter's hands have reshaped your soul. Though painful, they are forming a vessel more beautiful and stronger than before. Do not despise the seasons where no one understood you. Do not curse the moments where you felt utterly alone. In those very moments, heaven leaned in closer. You were not abandoned, you were being prepared. The fire did not consume you, it refined you. The silence was not absence, it was the whisper of God saying, "Hold on, I am not finished." Oh, consider this. When you stand before others and speak hope, it will not come from empty words. It will come from a heart that has walked through valleys, from eyes that have cried, from hands that have trembled in weakness. And that authenticity carries more power than polished speeches or perfect appearances. Your scars will speak louder than your successes. You might feel fragile, but your fragility has become the place where God's strength shines brightest. What you thought would break you has in fact made you unshakable. The depth of your tears has dug wells in your spirit, wells that others will drink from in their time of need. Chosen one. Understand this. Nothing you endured has been wasted. Heaven wastes nothing. Every sorrow becomes a seed, and seeds, when buried, do not die, they grow. Your tears have watered the very ground of your destiny. What has been sown in weeping will be reaped in joy. Lift your eyes. You are not defined by the pain of your past, but by the purpose that pain has prepared you for. The tears of yesterday are becoming the testimony of tomorrow. And though you may not see the full picture yet, trust that heaven is weaving it together in ways you cannot imagine. Your story is not over. It is only unfolding. The tears have been counted, the nights remembered, and the silence treasured. And soon, you will see the beauty that was hidden behind the pain all along. Chosen one. Hold this truth close. The God who counts your tears also writes your victories. Every silent prayer has been shaping a future far brighter than the nights you endured. You are walking into a season where what once broke you will no longer define you. It will empower you. The tears that stained your pillow will soon be exchanged for songs of joy. What seemed like ashes will become beauty in His timing. Nothing has been wasted, and everything is turning into glory. Chosen one. Before the rising always comes the shaking. You may feel as though the ground under you is unstable, as though the pieces of your life are falling apart. But the truth is, heaven sometimes allows the shaking not to destroy you, but to clear away what cannot remain when your crown is placed on your head. Think of a tree during autumn. The wind blows fiercely, and leaves are stripped away. To the outside eye, the tree looks barren, as if it has lost its glory. But those fallen leaves were never meant to stay. The shaking was necessary so that, when spring comes, the branches will be ready to carry new life. Your life has gone through the same process. The relationships, opportunities, and even habits that fell away in the storm were not meant for your future. They had to be shaken off to make space for what is coming. You may ask, why does it hurt so much? Because loss always feels heavy. Yet hidden in the loss is a hidden mercy. Imagine if those things had remained. They might have slowed you down, untangled your destiny, or pulled you off course. The shaking may feel cruel in the moment, but it is protection in disguise. There was once a young man who thought his future was secure. He had the job he wanted, the friendships he trusted, and the plans he carefully built. Then, suddenly, one by one, those pieces fell apart. He felt abandoned by God. But years later, he looked back and realized, if those foundations had not been shaken, he would never have discovered the deeper calling waiting for him. The storm did not end him. It introduced him to himself. The prophet Haggai recorded a word from heaven. Chapter 2, verse 7, I will shake all nations, and what is desired by all nations will come, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord Almighty. Notice this glory follows shaking. The very thing you fear will break you is the thing that clears the ground for God's glory to rest. Chosen one. That is why you cannot give up now. The shaking is not the end. It is the sign that something greater is drawing near. And as we walk together in this journey, I want to speak plainly from my heart. Messages like this are seeds of encouragement. They reach you when you are tired, when you need reminding of who you are. If these words strengthen your spirit, consider supporting this work. Press like, share this message, subscribe to stay connected, or give as you feel led. Think of it this way: a lighthouse cannot keep shining if no one tends the flame. Your support, whether through a simple click or a gift, becomes oil poured back into the lamp. It is never forced, never demanded, but always an offering of gratitude and faith. Some of you will share this message, carrying the light into rooms I may never step into. Some will subscribe, choosing to remain under the steady glow of this flame, and some may feel moved to donate, becoming the unseen hand that keeps the fire alive. Remember, support is never a condition of your worth. It is simply a way of saying, I believe in this light, and I want others to find it too. And know this giving is not loss. It is seed. Just as a farmer plants grain in the soil, not to lose it, but to multiply it, so every act of generosity plants into your own future. Heaven watches the heart, not the size of the gift, and heaven always returns what is sown in faith. Chosen one, let your heart be free. Let your spirit remain open. The shaking is not punishment. It is preparation. And even in this, your part matters, whether through words, actions, or gifts. You are part of a movement that is spreading light in a dark world. So, hold steady. The storm is not forever. The leaves that have fallen will soon give way to blossoms, and your crown is being prepared even now, shining brighter than the pain you've endured. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The shaking you have endured is not the final word. It is the doorway to what has been promised. What looks like ruin is actually the soil where new life is breaking forth. Every storm you've survived has carved deeper strength into your spirit. Every loss has been transformed into a hidden seed of glory. Soon, you will see the blossoms that pain has prepared. Stand steady in this truth. The shaking does not end you, it positions you. And when your crown is revealed, you will understand why nothing could remain the same. Chosen one, hear this carefully. There are moments when heaven issues a warning, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. You cannot continue to delay, to drift, or to ignore the voice tugging at your soul. Mercy is a gift, but it is not a toy. Grace is abundant, yet it is not endless in its offer. When the Spirit warns, it is because time is short, and the window for obedience is narrow. Think of a ship approaching a harbor. The captain must steer carefully through the narrow channel. If he hesitates, if he delays, the tide shifts, and the window of safe passage closes. In the same way, your obedience must be timely. To ignore the call is to risk missing the appointed moment. There was once a man who kept pushing God's voice aside. Each time he felt conviction, he said, "Tomorrow." Each time he was called to change, he replied, "Later." But tomorrow never came, and later turned into years. By the time he looked back, his heart had hardened, and opportunities had passed him by. He had mistaken patience for permission. What he thought he could postpone, he discovered he had lost. Do not make the same mistake. The Spirit is speaking now. While your heart is tender, while your ears are open, this is not coincidence. It is divine interruption. The call to surrender is not just a suggestion, it is the line between destiny and disaster. The Word of God makes it plain in the book of Hebrews, chapter 3, verse 15. Today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion. Notice the urgency it says today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, chosen one. Rebellion is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, hidden in small delays, whispered excuses, or secret compromises. But those small cracks can widen until they swallow the very light within. To keep ignoring conviction is to walk toward blindness, one step at a time. Think of wax dripping from a candle. At first, it is soft, pliable, able to be reshaped. But if left alone, it hardens. So too with the human heart. When conviction is resisted, the softness turns rigid. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to feel. That is why heaven presses on you now, because your heart is still tender. And yet, even in this warning, there is hope. Conviction is not condemnation. Conviction is mercy reaching out before it is too late. When you feel that pull in your chest, when tears rise without reason, when you sense that this word is meant for you, that is God's invitation. That is proof that the door is still open. There was a woman who lived in compromise for years. She thought she could balance both worlds, holding God in one hand and her own desires in the other. But when her world suddenly fell apart, she realized how far she had drifted. Yet, in that lowest moment, she remembered the voice she had ignored. She fell to her knees, weeping, and whispered, "Lord, I return." In that instant, peace flooded her soul. Though she had wandered long, God received her still. Conviction had saved her from total ruin. So now, chosen one, you are being warned because you are loved. Heaven does not sound alarms for those who are abandoned, but for those who are still chosen. The shaking of your spirit, the unease you feel, is not meant to crush you, it is meant to draw you back. In the comments, write the number 444. This is more than just a number, it is a prophetic act, a symbol of stability and alignment. As four corners make a foundation, so you declare, I choose to stand firm. I choose to align with heaven. I choose to obey today. When you type it, you seal your decision in the spiritual realm. Remember, chosen one, mercy is extended, but it is not guaranteed forever. Conviction is a gift. Treasure it. Today is the day of surrender. Today is the time to rise. Your heart is awake. Your ears are open. And heaven is waiting for your response. Do not delay. Do not postpone. Step fully into obedience now, and you will see the glory that waits beyond the warning. Chosen one. Do not mistake this call as something casual. When heaven interrupts, it is because the moment cannot be wasted. The number you write is not just a gesture, it is your declaration that you will no longer drift. It is your banner raised in the unseen realm, marking your heart as willing, surrendered, and ready for what comes next. Chosen one. You need to understand why the opposition in your life has felt so intense. It is not because you are weak, and it is not because you are failing. It is because you carry something that terrifies darkness. The enemy does not waste energy on those who pose no threat. But when you walk into a room, even before you speak, your very presence disrupts the atmosphere. Think of how a lamp behaves in a dark cave. The moment it is lit, the darkness has no choice but to retreat. It doesn't argue. It doesn't resist. It simply flees. That is the same way your light affects the unseen realm. Darkness may roar and intimidate, but it cannot withstand the light inside you. You may not even notice it, but others do. Some feel peace when you arrive, as if the weight they were carrying suddenly becomes lighter. Others may feel unsettled, avoiding you without reason, because your spirit exposes what they try to hide. Do not misunderstand these reactions. They are not about rejection, they are evidence of the authority you carry. There was once a young woman who constantly wondered why her presence seemed to attract both affection and hostility. Some people loved being near her, saying she brought calm wherever she went. Others avoided her or spoke against her, even without knowing her deeply. At first, she thought it was her fault, but later she learned the truth. It was the light of Christ within her. Her life was a walking testimony, whether she realized it or not. Chosen one. You carry that same reality. Your spirit cannot blend into the background because you are marked, and that mark is visible in the unseen world. Demons recognize it. Angels surround it. Heaven protects it. That is why the attacks have sometimes felt personal. It is because they are. The Apostle James declared in his letter, chapter 4, verse 7, submit yourselves, then, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Notice the order: submission first, resistance second. When your heart aligns with God, your resistance is no longer about your strength, but about his authority flowing through you. That is why the enemy trembles. Not because of who you are in yourself, but because of who you are in him. Think of a soldier standing in full armor. Without armor, he is just a man. But with the armor, he represents the kingdom that equipped him. You are that soldier. The attacks that come against you are not just testing your flesh, they are attempts to strip you of confidence in your identity. But you must remember, your armor is not human. It is divine. Some days you may feel worn down, like your prayers are weak and your hope is fading. But even then, the light inside you does not dim. It may flicker under the wind, but it never goes out. And every time you rise again, even if only to whisper a prayer, you testify that darkness cannot claim victory over you. Chosen one, your presence is a threat because you carry answers for people still trapped in chains. You may not realize it, but your words, your compassion, and your prayers have already broken barriers for others. The enemy knows this, and that is why he fights so hard to silence you. Consider this, even Jesus, before his public ministry began, was driven into the wilderness to face the enemy. Temptation came not because he was failing, but because he was preparing to step into greater authority. In the same way, the battles you face now are not signs of weakness. They are confirmation that you are close to stepping into a higher calling. You are like a key, chosen to unlock doors others cannot open, and keys often face resistance at the lock before they turn. Do not mistake that resistance for failure. It is simply proof that the door is real, and it is about to open. Chosen one, let this truth strengthen you. The enemy fears you, but heaven surrounds you. The darkness resists you, but it cannot overcome you. Every attack you face is already accounted for in God's plan, and every battle you endure only reveals more of the strength that was hidden inside you. You were not designed to shrink back. You were not chosen to hide. You are here to shine, to disrupt, to shift atmospheres, to carry light where it has been long absent. The war against you is proof of the crown awaiting you. Lift your head. The fight is fierce, but the victory is certain. You carry what cannot be stolen, and you walk under a covering that cannot be pierced. Chosen one, the path set before you is not wide and comfortable. It is narrow, deliberate, and often uncomfortable. You may have noticed that the more you pursue God, the more certain doors close, and the more certain paths become unavailable. This is not punishment, it is protection. The wide road looks easy, but it leads to emptiness. The narrow way requires sacrifice, but it leads to life. Think of a traveler walking up a mountain. At the base, the road is broad, and many walk it together. But as the climb rises higher, the path narrows until only one can pass at a time. The higher the climb, the fewer the companions. This is the way of the chosen. Your journey is not meant to be crowded. Not everyone can go where you are going. This is why some friendships have faded, why certain opportunities slipped away, why comfort seems elusive. God is guarding you from distractions that could delay your destiny. Though you may feel lonely at times, remember, it is better to walk alone in the narrow path of life than to be surrounded in the wide road of destruction. There was once a young man with great potential. Many doors opened for him, and he thought every open door was a blessing. But as he walked through them, he became entangled in compromise. His values weakened, his passion dimmed, and his clarity blurred. One day, he realized he had taken the wide path disguised as opportunity. Only when he stepped back, surrendered it, and chose the narrower way, did he recover his true calling. His story reveals the subtle danger. Not every open door is divine. Jesus himself spoke of this truth in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 14. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Notice the emphasis, few find it. This is not because God hides it, but because few are willing to let go of comfort and compromise to walk it. Chosen one. Your destiny cannot be carried on the road of ease. The anointing you hold demands a level of separation. That is why shortcuts do not work for you. What others can do without consequence, you cannot. What others excuse, your spirit cannot tolerate. This is not a burden, it is a sign of your identity. Think of a musician tuning an instrument. While others are laughing and distracted, the musician spends extra time adjusting, listening, refining. It looks tedious. But when the concert begins, only the tuned instrument can release true harmony. Your discipline, your sacrifice, your separation are like tuning. Others may not understand, but when the time comes, the sound of your life will be unmistakable. Do not envy those who appear to succeed quickly, who run with the crowd and enjoy temporary ease. Their road is wide, but its end is shallow. Instead, embrace the process of the narrow path. It is building depth within you, teaching patience, forming resilience. You may wonder why temptation has visited you often, whispering compromises that look harmless. That is because the narrow path is guarded by distractions. The enemy tries to lure you into detours, offering shortcuts that look appealing but lead to dead ends. Yet every time you resist, every time you choose obedience over comfort, you are walking further into life. Remember the words from the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. This is why discernment is so vital. What glitters is not always gold, and what looks easy is not always safe. Chosen one. Though the narrow road may feel lonely, you are never walking it alone. Heaven walks with you. Angels accompany you, and every step you take, though costly, carries eternal weight. So, when the path seems difficult, do not turn back. When you feel pressed on every side, do not abandon the climb. The narrow way is the way of the chosen, and though it costs much, it leads to everything you were created for. The world may chase comfort, but you chase purpose. Others may settle for compromise, but you pursue a truth. The crowd may not understand, but heaven applauds every step you take. Lift your eyes. Ahead of you is not just survival, it is fulfillment. The narrow path will lead you to the wide expanse of eternal life. And when you look back, you will see that every sacrifice, every lonely step, was worth it. Chosen one. The path has brought you to the edge of decision. You are standing at a cliff where two directions stretch before you, one toward destiny, the other toward destruction. The space between them is thin, and hesitation is no longer an option. The tug in your spirit, the unease in your heart, are not accidents. They are heaven's alarms, urging you to decide. Picture a traveler standing at a fork in the road. To one side lies a broad, enticing way, decorated with distractions, promising ease but hiding thorns further ahead. To the other side, a narrow trail winds upward, steep and rugged, yet filled with unseen strength and light at the summit. The traveler cannot stand still forever. to delay is, in itself, a choice. So it is with you now. There was once a man who lived in constant hesitation. He felt the pull of God, but kept one foot in the world. He thought he could wait until he was older, until things calmed down, until the timing was better. But in truth, waiting hardened him. By the time he looked back, he realized indecision had been his decision. The cliff had crumbled beneath him because he never chose. His story stands as a warning. To linger too long is to drift into ruin. Chosen one, listen closely. You are being called to courage, not comfort. Decision is heavy because destiny is heavy. Heaven does not hand crowns to the undecided. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot walk two roads. And you cannot postpone forever. It is written in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 14. Multitudes, multitudes, in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near, in the valley of decision. Do you see? Even multitudes stood in the valley, but only a few chose rightly. The day of the Lord approaches, and indecision is no longer neutral, it is dangerous. Think of fire on the horizon. If you wait to move, the flames consume what is around you. If you act quickly, you escape and find safety. Spiritually, hesitation in this moment is like standing still with fire closing in. You are not being asked to understand everything. You are being asked to step in faith, to declare, with your life where your allegiance stands. Now, I want you to put action to this moment. Type these words in the comments. My path clear. This is not just a sentence, it is a spiritual declaration. When you write it, you are saying to heaven and to earth, I will not remain in confusion. I will not linger at the edge. My steps are chosen. My way is aligned. My heart is clear. Avlu, do not underestimate the weight of this declaration. It may feel simple, but it is a seed planted into your destiny. It is you saying, I will not let indecision steal my crown. I step forward with clarity. In chosen one. Lift your eyes from the cliff and see the way prepared before you. The choice you make today is not just about you. It echoes into generations, shaping lives beyond your own. The edge you stand on is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to propel you. Step forward. Choose clarity. Walk your path with courage. Chosen one. When you declare, my path clear, you are doing more than choosing a sentence. You are drawing a line in the sand. You are refusing to let fear or confusion cloud your destiny any longer. This act is not about perfect knowledge of the future. It is about trust in the one who holds it. When you claim clarity, heaven aligns your steps. And even if the road looks narrow, your spirit begins to see light where there was once fog. Think of a river breaking through rocks. At first, it seems blocked, trapped with no way forward. But drop by drop, the water finds a channel, carving a path where none appeared. That is what happens when you choose clarity. The obstacles do not disappear instantly, but the Spirit of God begins carving a way through what seemed immovable. Your decision becomes the force that shapes your future. Do not fear that you will choose wrong. A surrendered heart cannot miss the will of God. He guides the willing, even through detours, back into alignment. What He cannot bless is hesitation rooted in rebellion, but a heart that whispers, my path clear, is a heart He delights to guide. Your courage becomes the compass that leads you into divine appointments. So stand boldly. You are not abandoned on this cliff of decision. Angels surround you. The Spirit empowers you, and the Father smiles as you take the step. Let the echo of your choice resound, not only in your own life, but ripple out into the lives of those who will one day thank you for choosing clarity today. Chosen one, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. The covenant of God is not fragile. His promises do not shatter because of your mistakes, nor do they fade because of your delays. What He has spoken over your life remains steady, unshaken, unbroken. You may have stumbled, but His covenant still stands. You may have doubted, but His word has not expired. Think of the rainbow after a storm. The skies may rage, the winds may howl, but when the clouds part, the rainbow arcs across the heavens as a sign. It does not appear because the storm was absent, it appears because the storm has passed. In the same way, your covenant with God shines not because life has been easy, but because He remains faithful through the storms you've endured. There was once a man who lost everything he thought defined him: wealth, friendships, even health. He assumed God had abandoned him. Yet, in his lowest point, he discovered something deeper. God's promises were not tied to circumstances. When all else failed, he realized the covenant still covered him. In time, what was broken was restored, and he saw the rainbow of God's faithfulness stretched over his life. The Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 13, "If we are faithless, He remains faithful, for He cannot disown Himself." These words are not distant, they are alive for you today. Even in your weakest hour, His covenant has not let go. Chosen one, I speak gently now. This message you are hearing is like bread placed before you. If it nourishes you, let it also be bread that reaches others. Press like, share this word, and subscribe so that more can eat from this table of truth. By doing so, you become a vessel that carries encouragement beyond yourself. And let me say this carefully, without pressure. If your heart feels moved, you may also donate, not as duty, but as beauty. Think of it this way: every act of support is like handing a torch to another traveler in the night. The flame you pass on becomes their hope, their guidance, their courage to keep walking. Some will share, becoming bridges that carry truth into places I cannot step. Some will subscribe, weaving their thread into the greater tapestry of this journey. And some may give, quietly but powerfully, ensuring the flame never goes out. Each choice is voluntary, each one beautiful, and each one adds light to the story heaven is writing through us. Do not see giving as loss. See it as sowing. A farmer who scatters seed does not mourn what leaves his hand, because he knows it multiplies in the soil. So it is with generosity. What you release does not vanish, it returns. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Heaven counts every gift, not by size, but by heart. And remember, chosen one. This is never a condition of being chosen. Whether you give or not, the covenant still covers you. Support is not about worth, it is about participation. It is about saying, I value this light, and I want it to shine further. That choice is always yours, free, unforced, and beautiful. Now lift your heart with hope. the shaking you have endured, the doubts you have carried, the questions you have whispered, they have not cancelled the covenant. You are still covered, still chosen, still held by promises that cannot fail. And as you hold on to that truth, remember this: your simple acts, whether a click, a share, a subscription, or a gift, are torches in the night, flames that spread from one traveler to another, lighting the way until dawn breaks. Chosen one, let your spirit rest. You are not forgotten, not abandoned, not left behind. His covenant stands unbroken, and your future is still secure in His hand. Chosen one, let this assurance steady your soul. You are part of something far larger than yourself. Every small act of faith, every word you carry, and every spark you release contributes to a fire that no darkness can extinguish. You are not walking this covenant alone. Heaven walks with you, and countless others walk beside you in unseen unity. So, breathe deeply, knowing the covenant is not fragile. It is stronger than storms, deeper than valleys, and higher than the mountains before you. Your story is wrapped in promises that will not fail. Step forward with courage, for the flame you carry is destined to burn brighter than the night that surrounds it. Chosen one, there is a shift already in motion. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but your spirit feels the trembling of what is coming. This is not an ordinary change, not the kind that fades as quickly as it arrives. This is a divine shift, an appointed turning of seasons orchestrated by heaven. Think of the tide as it turns. To the one standing on the shore, the waves seem repetitive, predictable, almost unchanging. But beneath the surface, there comes a moment when the ocean begins to pull back, rearranging its rhythm. Suddenly, the tide reverses, and everything is carried in a new direction. That is the kind of shift now rising in your life. There was once a woman who endured years of disappointment. Each door she tried seemed locked, each prayer unanswered. She grew weary, convinced that her story was a cycle of loss. But then, without warning, everything began to change. A job opportunity opened where rejection had been constant. A relationship healed that had long seemed impossible. In a matter of months, what had been delayed for years was restored in abundance. Looking back, she realized that heaven had been aligning every detail in silence until the sudden shift came. Her story reflects what is about to unfold for you. The prophet Isaiah spoke of such moments. Chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. This is not just poetic language. It is a blueprint of your coming days. Where you saw wasteland, streams are about to appear. Where you felt lost, paths are being carved. Chosen one, shifts often feel like disruption at first. Things move out of place. Patterns break. Routines shatter. You may feel unsteady, as though the ground beneath you cannot be trusted. But do not mistake disruption for disaster. It is the rearranging of heaven to place you in alignment with destiny. Think of an artist working clay on a wheel. The pot spins, hands press in, and the shape shifts violently to the clay. It feels like breaking, but to the artist, it is transformation. The clay cannot yet see the beauty forming, but the hands know exactly what they are creating. Your sudden shift feels pressing, but it is forming the vessel you were always meant to be. Some of you feel as though you are still in the waiting, still in the silence. But even waiting is part of the shift. Seeds sprout underground before they ever break the soil. Roots grow in darkness before fruit appears in light. What you cannot see does not mean nothing is happening. The shift begins beneath the surface, then rises suddenly. There was a man who once planted a vineyard. For years, he saw no grapes. His neighbors mocked him, saying he was wasting his time. But one morning, as dawn broke, he walked into his vineyard and saw clusters heavy with fruit. The years of unseen growth had all led to that moment of sudden abundance. What looked like delay was preparation. In the same way, the years you call wasted are seeds about to bear fruit. Chosen one. Prepare your spirit. When the shift arrives, it comes quickly. Opportunities open faster than you expect. Relationships realign suddenly. Resources appear seemingly from nowhere. This is why you cannot afford to live unprepared. The shift does not wait for convenience. It comes at the appointed time. Do not fear that you will miss it. The God who orchestrates the turning of seasons will not overlook you. He has marked your times and set your boundaries. The sudden shift is not something you must force. It is something you must recognize and embrace. Think of a sunrise. The darkest part of the night lingers, and then, in an instant, the first light breaks. Darkness does not resist it, retreats without argument. So it will be with you. The sudden shift will chase away the shadows of yesterday and fill your horizon with new light. Chosen one. Let this hope anchor you. The shift is not far away. Even now, the trembling beneath your feet is proof that the ground is changing. Lift your eyes, steady your heart, and prepare to step into what has already begun. Chosen one. Believe this. The sudden shift will not only change your circumstances, it will transform you. The waiting has carved depth. The silence has sharpened faith. And the pain has prepared endurance. When the change comes, you will be ready to carry it without breaking. So do not fear the trembling underfoot. It is the sound of destiny, unlocking. The shift is not against you, it is for you, ushering you into the lifelong prepared. Chosen one. Seasons of testing are not accidents. They are the refining fires through which your loyalty is proven. Anyone can declare faith when skies are clear. But the weight of your devotion is revealed when storms roll in. God does not test you to watch you fail. He tests you to reveal what has already been planted within. Think of a bridge built over deep waters. Before it can carry travelers safely, its foundation must be pressed, stretched, and weighed. Only then can it be trusted. In the same way, your faith is tested, not to break you, but to show the strength of what God has built in you. There was once a woman who prayed fervently for breakthrough. She trusted God with her words. But when the breakthrough seemed delayed, her heart grew weary. Then came the season where she lost nearly everything she held dear. In that furnace, she discovered a truth she had never known before. Faith is not measured by blessings, but by trust in absence. When the storm ended, her voice carried more weight than ever, because her loyalty had been proven in fire. It is written in the book of Job, chapter 23, verse 10, "But he knows the way that I take when he has tested me. I will come forth as gold." Notice this. The testing does not diminish you, it purifies you. What feels like loss is actually the burning away of impurities, leaving behind only what is eternal. Chosen one. You may ask why loyalty must be tested at all. The reason is this: untested loyalty is fragile. Untested devotion may sound convincing, but it does not endure when pressure comes. Testing reveals whether your love is built on convenience or covenant. Think of iron placed in a forge. The fire heats it. The hammer strikes it. And though the process is violent, the end result is a sword capable of battle. Without fire, it would remain brittle, unable to withstand conflict. You are that sword. The testing is your forge. Sometimes testing comes through silence, prayers that seem unanswered, doors that appear locked, friendships that fade without reason. Other times it comes through loss, when what you thought was permanent is suddenly stripped away. And at times, it arrives through temptation, the pull to choose, compromise over conviction. In each form, the testing asks the same question: will you remain loyal? The Apostle James reminds us in his letter, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Do you see? Testing is never for nothing. Endurance leads to reward. Perseverance leads to crowns. Chosen one. Let this truth encourage you. Every trial you have faced is not evidence of abandonment. It is proof that heaven is investing in you. The crown you will wear is forged in the trials you endure. You are not overlooked. You are being refined. Now, I want you to mark this moment with faith. Type the number 999 inches. The comments. This is not just a number. It is a prophetic sign of fullness, of cycles completed, of divine perfection coming forth through your testing. By writing it, you declare, "My testing will not destroy me. My loyalty stands firm. I am being refined, not forsaken." And who, do not underestimate this act. When you align your words with faith, you step into agreement with heaven. Angels take note. The unseen world recognizes your stand. What you type is a banner lifted in the spirit, saying, "I remain loyal, I endure. I overcome." And who, chosen one. Remember this: your loyalty is not measured in perfection, but in persistence. It is not about never stumbling. It is about always rising again. Each time you choose God over compromise, each time you hold on in silence, each time you whisper, "I trust you." Even through tears, you are proving your allegiance. So do not despise the testing. Welcome it as the fire that shapes you. It is not designed to consume you, but to reveal the gold already within. And when you emerge, your voice will carry authority, your presence will carry weight, and your crown will shine with the radiance of proven loyalty. The testing is temporary, the reward is eternal, and heaven is already preparing to place that crown upon your head. Chosen one, understand this clearly. The fire you endure is not random. It is purposeful. Every moment of heat is shaping endurance. Every strike of pressure is building strength. The crown awaiting you is not cheap. It is forged in proven faith. Chosen one, though the trials may be fierce and the silence heavy, you have never been left uncovered. Even in moments when you felt abandoned, when no hand reached out and no word of comfort arrived, Heaven had already stationed protection around you. The unseen world is alive with armies you cannot see. Standing. Watch while you walk through valleys. Picture a child asleep in the night. The darkness outside may be thick, but a guard stands at the door, sword in hand, ensuring that no harm enters. The child may never even realize the danger, but the protection is constant. That is how heaven has kept you. While you rested, while you cried, while you carried burdens alone, angelic watchmen stood guard over your life. There was once a man who traveled through dangerous lands. Thieves often hid along the road, waiting for the vulnerable. Many times, he passed through unharmed, not realizing why. Years later, another traveler told him, "Every time you passed, soldiers walked with you." Only then did he understand. His survival had not been luck. It was unseen protection. In the same way, you too have been escorted through dangers you never knew existed. The psalmist declared in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This is not a promise for someone else. It has been alive in your story. Every close call, every accident avoided, every unseen escape was not coincidence. It was the command of heaven surrounding you. Chosen one. Your sense of abandonment is not evidence of God's absence. It is simply the limitation of your sight. You cannot see the walls of fire that circle you. You cannot hear the songs of angels warring on your behalf. Yet even in silence, they remain. Think of a castle hidden within fog. Enemies approach, confident they can breach the walls, only to discover that behind the mist are gates of steel. In the same way, those who have sought to harm you never realized how fortified you truly were. Heaven's defense has always been stronger than the enemy's offense. You may remember moments when the attack felt overwhelming, when sickness lingered, when betrayal cut deep, when despair pressed so heavily that you thought you would break. But even then, the fact that you are still here is proof of unseen protection. What tried to destroy you failed, not because you were strong, but because you were shielded. There was a woman who often dreamed of falling into darkness. Each time, just before she hit the ground, a hand caught her and lifted her up. She dismissed it as imagination. But in her waking life, she survived accidents, sickness, and losses that could have ended her story. Only later did she understand that her dreams had been visions of reality. Heaven had caught her again and again. Chosen one. Understand this. Protection is not always deliverance from battle. Sometimes it is strength to endure within it. Sometimes it is wisdom to avoid a trap before you step into it. Sometimes it is the quiet whisper that steers you away from a decision that looks harmless but carries destruction. Think of a shepherd guiding sheep through rocky terrain. The sheep may stumble, scrape themselves, even fall for a moment, but the shepherd's staff keeps them from plunging into death. That is what God has done for you. You have stumbled, yes, but you have not been destroyed. You have bled, but you have not been consumed. You are still walking because you are still guarded. The prophet Zechariah spoke a vision. Chapter 2, verse 5. "And I myself will be a wall of fire around it, declares the Lord, and I will be its glory within." Do you see? You are not only protected from without, but also filled with glory within. The fire outside keeps danger away. and the glory inside keeps your light alive. Chosen one, hold to this truth. You have never walked alone. You never will. Even in nights when your pillow was soaked with tears, a host stood by your bed. Even in days when betrayal left you shaking, angels strengthened your heart. Even in hours when fear whispered that you were finished, heaven whispered louder, not yet, not ever. Ayathing, lift your eyes now. You may not see the armies surrounding you, but they are there. You may not hear their steps, but they march with you. And one day, when you look back from the other side, you will understand just how many battles were fought and won for you without your knowledge. Until then, walk boldly, for though the unseen world is real, so too is your unseen protection. Chosen one. Not all are called to stand in comfortable places. Some are chosen to walk into wilderness, to lift their voice where few will listen, to speak truth in spaces that prefer silence. You have felt the tension of this calling when your words are not welcomed, when your convictions make you stand out, when your voice stirs unease instead of applause. But this is not rejection, it is the mark of a messenger. Think of John the Baptist, crying out from the desert. He was not dressed in fine robes, nor did he sit in palaces. His stage was sand and stone, his microphone, the open sky, and yet the fire of his words drew crowds, stirred hearts, and prepared the way for something greater than himself. In the same way, your wilderness moments are not evidence of failure. They are proof that you carry a voice meant to pierce the noise of culture. There was once a young woman who struggled with loneliness because she could not remain silent in places of compromise. She spoke gently but firmly when others laughed at righteousness, when truth was twisted, when faith was mocked. Often, her stand cost her friends, opportunities, and comfort. But over time, those same people who dismissed her came seeking her wisdom in their darkest nights. Her wilderness voice became a lifeline for others when storms came. Scripture reminds us in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 7, "But the Lord said to me, do not say, I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you." These words are not bound to Jeremiah alone. They echo into your life. Do not say you are too small, too broken, too unqualified. If God has put a word in your mouth, it carries weight beyond your years, your background, or your experience. Chosen one. The wilderness can feel cruel. The silence echoes. The isolation cuts deep. And you wonder if your voice matters at all. But it is in wilderness places that voices are sharpened. Noise is stripped away. Distractions fall silent. And what remains is clarity, truth unfiltered, conviction refined, faith unshakable. Think of a trumpet. It must be hollow to carry sound. If it were filled with clutter, no clear note would emerge. In the same way, the wilderness hollows you out, making space for the clarity of heaven to pass through your voice. What feels like emptiness is actually preparation to carry a sharper sound. There was a man who spent years in quiet obscurity, writing words no one read, speaking truths no one heard. He questioned whether he was wasting his life. But one day, the season shifted. The same words he had spoken in silence suddenly echoed before thousands, and because he had been faithful in the wilderness, his voice carried authority when the doors finally opened. Chosen one, understand this. Your voice will not always be popular. Truth is rarely applauded by the crowd. But your assignment is not to be accepted, it is to be faithful. Whether one listens or many, whether you stand before crowds or speak to a single soul, your obedience matters. The prophet Amos said in his book, chapter 3, verse 8, "The lion has roared, who will not fear? The sovereign Lord has spoken, who can but prophesy?" When God's roar fills your spirit, silence is no longer an option. You cannot hold back what burns inside you. To suppress your voice would be to betray your calling. Chosen one, the wilderness is temporary, but the voice it gives you will echo long after. People may resist now, but later they will remember the one who dared to speak truth when others stayed quiet. Your words will become seeds, and in time, those seeds will bloom. So do not despise the lonely places. Do not resent the silence. It is in these very places that your calling is being carved. Your voice is being tuned like an instrument, not for entertainment, but for impact. And when the appointed time arrives, the sound of your obedience will break chains, open eyes, and prepare the way for others to walk in freedom. Chosen one, lift your head. You are not abandoned in the wilderness. You are being trained in it. Your voice is being refined, your heart steadied, your mission clarified. And when you speak, even if the world resists, heaven will stand as witness that you have been faithful to the assignment given. Chosen one, let this comfort you. The wilderness is not wasted. Every silence is sharpening your voice. Every lonely step is strengthening your walk. Soon, the very ground that felt barren will echo with the power of your obedience. Chosen one, you are not meant to remain hidden forever. The time comes when the ones who have been forged in silence are lifted into visibility. This is your rising, the moment when all that was pressed, tested, and purified within you begins to shine outward. And though darkness will resist, it cannot prevail. The mark of heaven is upon you, and no weapon formed against you can succeed. Think of the dawn breaking after a long night. Shadows may stretch and cling, but when the sun lifts its head, the darkness has no choice but to flee. It does not leave because it wishes to, but because it must. You are stepping into such a dawn. The battles you fought in private, the valleys you endured in silence, have prepared you for a rising that cannot be hidden. There was once a man who endured constant opposition. People mocked him, underestimated him, even tried to bury his voice. But in time, the very stone they rolled to cover him became the platform upon which he stood. His perseverance transformed rejection into testimony. His rising was not smooth, but it was unstoppable. This is the nature of those chosen. Setbacks become stages. Wounds become wisdom. Scars become songs. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon forged against you will prevail. You will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the Lord's servants." This heritage is yours. Vindication is not something you must fight for. It is something already promised. Chosen one, as you rise, remember that your journey is not for yourself alone. You are called to be a light for others, and light, by its very nature, is shared. The flame of a candle does not diminish. When it lights another, it multiplies. So too with your rising, And here, I want to speak to you with tenderness. Messages like these are not random words, they are lamps lit in the night. If they have illuminated your path, consider what it means to carry the flame forward. Press like, share this message, subscribe for the journey ahead, or even give as your heart feels led. But hear me, this is not about obligation. It is about beauty. Each act of support is like adding another stone to a lighthouse built on a cliff. Alone, the light reaches only so far. Together, it becomes a tower strong enough to guide ships through storms. When you share, it is as though you extend the beam of the lighthouse into waters I could never reach alone. When you subscribe, it is as though you choose to stand on that cliff with me, keeping watch through the night. When you give, it is as though you carry oil to keep the fire burning, oil that becomes light for countless others lost at sea. And if this word has stirred something inside you, leave a comment below. Think of it as carving your name onto the stones of the lighthouse, saying, I was here. I chose light. Your words may become the spark that encourages another soul who reads them in silence. There is no pressure here. Support is not demanded, it is offered. It is not a tax, it is a gift. And every gift becomes a thread in a tapestry, weaving together a story of lives touched, hearts healed, and destinies awakened. Some will walk past and only admire the light. Some will pause and add their spark, and some will choose to become pillars of the lighthouse itself. Each one is precious. Each one is free. Each one carries weight before heaven. Think of rain falling on dry ground. Each drop may seem small, but together they awaken a field into bloom. So it is with your response. Whether a like, a share, a comment, a subscription, or a gift, your act becomes a drop of rain that nourishes what God is growing through these words. Chosen one, let your response flow not from compulsion, but from gratitude. If the light has touched you, let it move naturally from your heart to your hands. For in this, you are not simply receiving, you are participating in a rising far greater than yourself. And as you rise, know this, your obedience, your endurance, and your generosity are not forgotten. Heaven records them, treasures them, multiplies them. The crown upon your head is not only for the battles you endured, but also for the light you helped spread. Lift your eyes. Chosen one, your rising is here. The dawn has broken. The flame you carry will not go out. And together, as light bearers, we will see darkness retreat. One step, one voice, one act of beauty at a time. Chosen one. There is a moment coming when what has been hidden in silence will be revealed openly. For years, your faithfulness has been carried quietly, your sacrifices unseen, your tears poured in private. But heaven is a witness to what no one else has noticed. And soon, what was hidden will be displayed. The crowns of glory are not given in secret. They are placed openly for all to see, so that the faithfulness of the chosen may shine as testimony. Think of a tree planted in a forgotten field. It grows slowly, season after season, roots digging deep while no one pays attention. To the passerby, it looks ordinary, even overlooked. Yet when the harvest season arrives, its branches hang heavy with fruit, undeniable and impossible to ignore. That is the nature of your journey. Hidden obedience eventually becomes visible testimony. There was a man who worked tirelessly in obscurity. He poured his life into serving others, even when no one clapped. No one thanked him. No one recognized his effort. Many told him he was wasting his time, that his quiet labor would amount to nothing. But when the right time came, those seeds sprouted all at once. Communities were changed. Hearts were healed. And the man was honored publicly for what he had done quietly for years. His crown was revealed not in the hidden seasons, but in the open reward. Chosen one. Do not despise the hidden years. They were never wasted. Heaven does not forget. Every unseen act of kindness, every prayer no one heard, every sacrifice you thought went unnoticed, they are jewels being set into your crown. And when the moment of revealing comes, the world will see what heaven has been weaving all along. The Apostle Peter writes in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 4, "And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away." This promise is not a poetic dream. It is a reality waiting for those who remain steadfast. Your faithfulness will not dissolve into nothing. It will be honored with everlasting recognition. Think of a hidden spring underground. For years, the water flows unseen, nourishing roots in silence. But then, one day, it bursts forth into the open, becoming a river that brings life to everything around it. Your hidden prayers, your secret intercessions, are that spring. They have already been flowing, and soon they will burst into streams of influence, blessing not only your life but also the lives of many others. Chosen one. The crown you will receive is not only for endurance, but also for the moments when you chose obedience over ease, when you chose silence instead of revenge, when you chose compassion instead of indifference. Those choices were small in the moment, but before heaven, they are monumental. You may look at others and wonder why their lives seem more visible, more applauded. But remember, crowns are not given for applause, they are given for faithfulness. The applause of men fades quickly, but the honor of God endures forever. What you carry is not temporary fame, but eternal reward. There was a woman who raised her children in faith, prayed quietly for her neighbors, and lived humbly, without recognition. At her passing, testimonies poured in of lives she had touched, people she had strengthened, prayers she had answered with her faith. She never stood on a stage, but her crown was as radiant as any preacher or prophet. Her story is a reminder. The crowns revealed in heaven often belong to those who walked faithfully in silence on earth. Chosen one. Lift your eyes beyond temporary struggles. Every unseen act, every quiet endurance, every hidden prayer has been shaping your crown. And when God reveals it, no voice of accusation, no shadow of doubt, and no memory of your pain will be able to erase its glory. Do not be weary in well-doing. Your crown is closer than you realize. The day will come when what you carried in silence will be celebrated openly, when your faithfulness will be honored, and when your hidden labor will shine brighter than gold refined by fire. Hold steady, for your revealing is near. The crowns of the faithful are not hidden forever. They are unveiled in the perfect time, radiant for all to see. Chosen one. Take courage in this. Your hidden season has been the womb of glory. What once felt invisible is about to be displayed for all to witness. The crown awaiting you is proof that God wastes nothing. Your faithfulness has always mattered, and soon it will shine. Chosen one. The journey leads here to the sound of the final trumpet call. This is not a sound of fear for you, but of fulfillment. It is the voice of heaven declaring that time is shorter than you think, that eternity is closer than it feels, and that the destiny written for you cannot be postponed any longer. Think of a watchman standing on the walls at dawn. All night he has kept vigil, eyes heavy but heart awake. Then, as the horizon glows, he lifts the trumpet and blows. The sound cuts through silence, announcing that night is over. That day has come. That trumpet is not just for others, it is for you. It is the call that says, "Rise." The waiting is over. There was once a man who lived as if time was endless. He believed he could wait to step into purpose, that tomorrow would always be available. But as years slipped by, opportunities faded, and his heart grew dull. He realized too late that he had mistaken delay for security. His story is a warning. The trumpet does not wait for our convenience. Its sound comes at the appointed time, ready or not. The Apostle Paul wrote in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 52, "In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised, imperishable, and we will be changed." Do you see? The trumpet call is not only an announcement of ending, it is the declaration of transformation. It speaks of change too swift to resist, of destiny too powerful to delay. Chosen one. This is why every moment matters. The trumpet reminds us that time is not infinite, that what we do now echoes into eternity. It is not meant to burden you, but to awaken you. To live distracted is to risk missing the urgency of the hour. But to live attentive is to be ready when the sound breaks forth. Think of lightning in the night sky. In an instant, it transforms darkness into blinding light. The trumpet call will be like that sudden, undeniable, impossible to ignore. And though the world may tremble, the chosen will rise with assurance, for they have lived awake. You have been walking through seasons of preparation. Every trial, every delay, every hidden prayer has been shaping you for this moment. The trumpet does not call the unprepared, it calls the chosen. Those who have endured, those who have remained faithful, those who have not allowed compromise to steal their crown. There was a woman who carried the weight of waiting for many years. She often wondered if her prayers were in vain, if her sacrifices were wasted. But one day, when everything seemed ordinary, a sudden shift came. Doors opened, promises were fulfilled, and she knew deep within the trumpet had sounded for her life. It was not the final call of eternity, but it was a prophetic call for her season. She stepped into destiny because she was ready when the sound came. Chosen one. Readiness is not about perfection. It is about posture, a heart serenal, a spirit alert, a life leaning toward obedience. That is what it means to be ready. The trumpet will not ask for your achievements, it will look for your alignment. The prophet Zephaniah wrote in chapter 1, verse 14, "The great day of the Lord is near, near, and coming quickly. The cry on the day of the Lord is bitter. The mighty warrior shouts his battle cry." This is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. The nearness of the day is not a curse for the chosen, it is a crown. Chosen one. Let this truth steady your heart. You are standing at the threshold of eternity, and the trumpet is closer than you realize. Do not drift. Do not slumber. Live awake. Live surrendered. Live ready. And when the trumpet does sound, whether in your life through a sudden shift or in the heavens at the end of the age, you will not be caught unprepared. You will rise, transformed, crowned, and embraced by the one who called you from the beginning. Lift your eyes, for the trumpet is not a threat, but a promise. It is the signal that the night is ending, that the day has come, and that your destiny is unfolding sooner than you think. Chosen one, take heart. The trumpet will not catch you unaware. Every sacrifice, every prayer, every tear has prepared you for this moment. When the sound breaks forth, you will not shrink back, you will rise, radiant, ready, crowned in glory. Chosen one, we have reached the end of this journey together. But the word planted in you today is only the beginning. What you have heard is not for a fleeting moment. It is a seed meant to grow, to anchor your heart, and to prepare you for what is coming sooner than you think. If these words have stirred something inside you, I invite you to respond in ways that keep the light spreading. Press like. Think of it as adding your spark to the flame, letting the message glow brighter for others who are searching. Share this message, like casting bread upon the waters. It will return, multiplied, reaching souls you may never meet, but who desperately need this light. Leave a comment below. Let your words be like carvings on the stones of a great monument, a testimony that you stood here, that you chose to walk in truth. Someone in silence may read your words and find courage to rise again. Subscribe, not out of duty, but as a way of saying, I want to remain connected to the flow of what God is doing here. It is like choosing to sit around the same fire, week after week, never letting the warmth fade. And if your heart feels led, donate not because you must, but because you may. Think of it as carrying oil to keep a lantern burning on a stormy night. Each drop ensures the flame keeps guiding those lost at sea. It is voluntary, beautiful, and powerful. Chosen one, your participation matters. You are part of this movement of light, and together, our sparks will rise into a blaze that no darkness can overcome.